Hi, my name is Megan. I am a trainer at Equinox. I'm also a show fitness instructor. Today in class we went over how to train a beginner client and ways you can progress month 1 to month 2. We also went on how to build your clientele off the floor, different special events you can do. If you want to become a successful personal trainer, you need to do the Show Up Fitness CPT. Teaches you how to program, teaches you anatomy, and you're going to learn from trainers like me, Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Have a good day. Any questions you have, so we'll start with a little bit of a Q&A, and then I can go into talking about what it's like training with a full book of business, how I manage that, getting certified online, and that's when I found Show Up Fitness. Went through the Show Up Fitness internship. I did online and in person, and then I got hired at Equinox. So my training philosophy really is just move your body more than you're currently moving it, eat like healthy whole foods, get sleep. It's more like a holistic style of training. We're going to talk about training and with the CCA. Right now, are the trainers that are in the chat, are you new? Do you have clients? Where are we kind of at on the spectrum?
I'm trying to gain more clients at Bay Club, and I have a few outside of the club too.
A lot of times when you do train people, you're going to be training 2 to 3 times a week. You'll have some clients that you will be training 4 to 5, but the majority of the clients you're going to be having will be 3 times a week, which is why using CCA is really great. And it's also great to be doing like a full body for people working only a few times a week. I like to do, especially for beginner clients, a lot of people that you will begin to start training are going to be people who have really never worked out before, or they're going to be people who haven't worked out in like 10 plus years. So running them through like a good full body is going to be where you want to start. But something I like to do for newer clients, a lot of the clients are going to be weight loss clients. So I love to train, really focus on lower body because you're going to get a little bit more like bang for your buck with lower body. So I like to start with like a hip thrust. I feel like it's an easy movement to learn, especially if they have to fail. All you do is drop the weight to the ground. So I love starting with a hip thrust and then going into like an eccentric push-up, and you can get trainer engagement through the eccentric push-up by, if they can't, as they're lowering and you see like their hips dropping before their shoulders, you can add a band around their waist and take some of the weight off as they slowly lower to the floor. Does everyone know what an eccentric or negative push-up is? I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Colin. And then so a hinge pattern to start would be my first core movement. My second would be a horizontal push movement, so slow lowering eccentric push-up. And then I love dead bugs. So going into a dead bug, I think it is very important for especially new clients to learn how to rotate their pelvis, because that tiny movement and rotating and tucking your pelvis under your ribs is in so many different exercises that you will learn. So making sure they nail that is very important. So I'll have that do a hip thrust, push up, and then a dead bug. Any questions? So after I like to do a traditional full body day. So where you are hitting every single movement pattern. So we already did hinge, push, and core. So going into a knee dominant movement or a squat. So you can do a goblet squat, a leg press. For me, I like doing more free weights. So I'm going to have them do a goblet squat. And again, focusing on that tuck at the top and making sure they're not overextending, because nowadays we are very sedentary and we have a lot of low back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, and a lot of low back pain comes from that overextending. So focusing on that. So starting with a squat. Next, we'll go into a pull. Probably like a lat pull down. And then third would be, I like to do for starting clients a lot of deep core work. So I would go into like a flat back hollow hold. Right, and that would be like my second movement for how I would train a beginner CCA. Good. And for new clients, I'd love to add a some type of cardio. So VersaClimber, Airdyne, ski erg, something like that, supersetted with a carry. So any questions? Does anyone have questions about CCA specifically?
Yeah, I had one question, Megan, before you move on.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you have 2 CCA patterns. Do you do a third one as well when you're training your new clients?
So typically when it's a beginner client, making it through 2 full cycles is going to be a lot. And that's usually going to be the full hour, including the warm up. So typically I wouldn't have time. If I do have time is when I like to incorporate some kind of cardio. I love doing like an Airdyne sprint. So like 15 seconds as fast as you can on the Airdyne. We'll rest until your heart rate goes down. I don't really like the time rest when I do cardio. I like to have it where let me know when your heart rate is low and then we'll go again. Because everyone's heart rate recovers differently. So really figuring out per client how it is. So, and it's very important when you are working with people for them to understand how they feel during the exercise, if the weight's too heavy, if it's too light. So really asking a lot of questions. So I like to really leave it up to them rest wise. So 15 seconds as fast as you can, rest for as long as we need to, let your heart rate recover, and then go again. Same thing you can do VersaClimber, ski erg. I typically don't like to put people on like treadmills or ellipticals because I feel like that's something they can do on their own. So I like to do something new. And a lot of people don't ever do any of those equipment on their own.